A disturbing revelation that young people belonging to minority groups may not be receiving the same level of support from social services as their counterparts. Dominica to benefit from a $15 million Japanese-funded climate change project, while solid waste and private sector host a No Plastic Day. And displaced Dubic residents expected to move into their new settlement at Center in Grand Bay shortly. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details after this. We begin with the social services, where victims of sexual assault who are gay seem to be facing challenges getting effective response from those assigned, I should say, to help them. And that is an issue which head of the Child Fund Dominica is concerned about.
This prejudice worries Gilina Fontaine, since as a qualified social worker, she appreciates that everyone, despite their class, race, creed, or sexual orientation, deserves equal service. Fontaine was in for a rude awakening following a meeting on reporting protocol for reports of sexual assault.
Something that struck me a lot that came up within that workshop was the issue of development workers, social workers, police, health, the service providers, how we respond to children, young people, and our clientele of different sexual orientation, different religious persuasion, different racial backgrounds, ethnicity, etc. What we were hearing in that workshop is that certain people, there's a certain group of our children or young people who are not serviced or served or supported equally with other people because they might be gay.
As a representative of an organization which campaigns for the betterment of deprived, excluded, and vulnerable children, Fontaine thinks the situation is sad.
Who will these children and young people turn to if a social worker or an officer or a nurse or somebody cannot, under their code of practice, serve a person equally with equal attention and support, serve a person who is of a different sexual orientation? What we're hearing is some of them might be insulted, and then they might not be further served. They might be dismissed, discarded, and then where they might go for help, the people might not be qualified enough to help them. Being a social worker myself, you abide under the code that no matter who that person is, no matter what their issues are, as deep and dark as they may sound to you, as against your beliefs as they may sound to you, you have to give that person equal attention to help support that person in whatever distress, whatever situation they're going through.
On to the environment now, as Dominica will be the first in line to benefit from a $15 million project to battle climate change.
This project is being funded by the government of Japan and will benefit 7 other Caribbean countries.
The project aims to support countries in advancing the process of inclusive low-emission, risk-resilient development. Interventions under the project include supporting policy innovation through the development of a number of nationally appropriate mitigation actions and national adaptation plans. In addition, implementing actual technology that is both low emission and advances climate risk management, including demonstration in the target countries.
The Japan Caribbean Climate Change Project was officially launched in January 2016. The government of Japan will also provide technical support for the project with the United Nations Development Programme, acting in the capacity of implementing partner.
The project is focused on 3 main outcomes, with an emphasis on water resources management, sustainable agriculture, community-based climate-smart resilient infrastructure, and renewable energy and energy efficiency. Climate variability and change are posing significant challenges to societies worldwide, and as a small island developing state, Dominica is especially challenged by the impact which this could have on the development sectors and on our national population.
Claudine Roberts has been engaged by the UNDP as the focal point of this project. Several areas in Dominica have already been identified to benefit from the JCCCP.
A number of projects have already been put on the table for consideration, to include upscaling and expanding the renewable energy project in the Kalinago territory, upscaling the Mount Prosper women agriculture production, retrofitting the Grand Bay Community Center, developing the new Dubic resettlement in a model community, upgrading the Bagatelle Sus water catchment area, Mr. Fountain, and retrofitting the Mon Ratchet Community Center. And I can assure our donor, that is the government of Japan and of course the UNDP regional office, that we will assist to ensure a timely and seamless implementation of the activities eventually approved under this project. Already, Cabinet would have endorsed the 10-member steering committee, and we look forward to receiving the actual projects and interventions for consideration, as we are confident that they will go a long way into building resilience in this extremely vulnerable country of ours.
The JCCP is expected to run until the end of 2017. Grenada, Guyana, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines and Suriname will also benefit from the project.
In more news on the environment, consumers who will require a plastic bag for groceries on Saturday can expect to be charged a small fee in an effort to discourage the use of plastics.
The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation is collaborating with other organizations on island to hold No Plastic Bag Day. Initial plans are to host a No Plastic Bag Day on a regular basis so that Dominicans can be more environmentally friendly in their shopping habits.
The general objective, therefore, is to reduce plastic bag consumption and save the environment, our food source, and our health. We need a change in behavior. We need a change in lifestyle, and we need a change in our pride for our natural environment and the country. Our first No Plastic Bag Day is scheduled for Saturday, 9th April 2016, and will continue every other Saturday.
Dominicans are being encouraged to take along their own grocery bags for shopping on Saturday.
Unfortunately, we were not able to bring in any bags, recyclable bags. There are not many businesses on island who could supply the amount that we would need for our customer base. To bring it in at that time. As you know, Maryjet still doesn't land at the airport, so we're restricted in terms of our air carrier options in terms of expediency. However, this Saturday will be what we call a test run, and we're hoping to generate and create an interest in the customers so they can have a better understanding that this is the way to go in the future.
A few supermarkets in the Roseau area will participate in this No Plastic Bag pilot project, including Whitchurch IGA Supercenter, J. Astafan and Company Limited, AC Shillingford and Company Limited, Robinsons, and ISA Trading.
We are working with the schools, and a number of schools are on board with us, and this Saturday from 10 o'clock we'll have a number of schools being outside of Whitchurch, Astafan's, Robinsons, Shillingfords. So they will be there demonstrating to us, demonstrating to the shoppers what they should do instead of using a plastic bag, what alternative bag that they should use. For example, an old pants leg can be used for buying dashing.
The Solid Waste Management Corporation is reminding the public that increased plastic waste could have several implications for the country.
Just imagine our precious beaches littered with plastic-based materials. This can lead to the loss of revenues to our residents, fewer visitors, increase in vector-borne illnesses.
The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, in collaboration with the supermarkets in the city, came together to launch its first No Plastic Day. This program will seek to create an awareness on the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle, and gives a practical appreciation on the improvement of the quality of waste management in Dominica.
In other developments, work on the Petrocasas in Center Granby for displaced residents of Dubique said to be nearing completion.
That's according to Parliamentary Representative for the Granby constituency, Justina Charles. In an interview with Channel 5 News, Charles said that despite missing the Easter deadline, Dubique residents should be able to move into their new houses soon.
But now work is progressing much faster than in the beginning. I'm recognizing we're a little behind time, and sometimes, as you rightly said, there can be little mishaps and little things that can delay your construction. But I think they're moving quite well. To date, they are well over close to 25 houses that are covered and ready to, almost ready. Some of them is basically just to do the electrical and water connection, and they can already begin to move in. And I know the resettlement committee is working feverishly to ensure that the water can be connected and the lights.
50 houses are soon to be constructed for the residents of Dubic.
I know some houses have been tested and passed the test, so that is how far we are. So the Dubic residents should be, some of them can very well go into their new homes in the near future, very, very soon. We are presently working with them to make sure that they can do their little propagation of the flower plants and so forth, so at least they can beautify their little environment. But I think the houses are moving on rapidly. They work every day, Monday to Sunday, to ensure that they can move a little speedily. Some of them, they still have to pour and so, but I think if they continue at the pace at which they are going, we will see the completion in the near future.
Dubic residents are being commended for their patience while their resettlement site is receiving its finishing touches.
They've been very tolerant, they've been very patient and understanding, and they, relate if they have an issue. They come in a very nice way and express what the concerns are, and we try our best to make sure that they can be comfortable, because it is not very pleasant to know that you are comfortable in your home and then from natural disaster or any other thing like that, you are displaced and in a setting that you are not used to. So we have to be very tolerant with them, and they have been very, very tolerant and very nice people to work with.
Following the passage of Tropical Storm Erica, the community of Dubic was evacuated, and residents are currently staying at the community center and private homes in Grant Bay.
And emergency response personnel are still being confronted with non-yielding drivers, a problem which the Chief of the Fire and Ambulance Services, Josiah Dupe, has expressed concern over.
Your first action on hearing a siren should be to safely move to the shoulder of the road and get out of the way. However, Josiah Dupe told Channel 5 News the lack of cooperation from drivers and even pedestrians to approaching ambulances and fire trucks can pose a setback to the response time to an emergency, and that could be to provide help for someone who's sick or injured.
We need road users, pedestrians and people who drive on the road, to be courteous, to do the basic, I think, a basic thing to do, which is, by the way, part of your notes that you get when you get your driver's license, to yield to emergency vehicles. And in some instances, as I said, we've seen improvements, but there are still cases, there are still individuals who race ahead or don't particularly care to yield to the emergency vehicles that are actually responding to emergencies.
You're watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, the potential impact of Astafan's newly launched A-Team. We'll have details. Thank you for staying with us. Dominica is among members of the World Trade Organization putting in place measures towards ratifying a trade facilitation agreement. The conclusion of the agreement in 2013 marked the end of 10 years of negotiations. Of the 108 WTO members, Dominica and 36 other countries now have to formally accept the agreement and then implement its provisions. The OACS Commission is supporting efforts by the International Trade Center to help the country implement trade facilitation measures.
As of March 16, 2016, 71 WTO members have ratified the agreement, 6 of which are from the CARICOM region, including 2 OECS member states, that is Grenada and St. Lucia, and the other CARICOM member states being Trinidad and Tobago, Belize, Guyana, and Jamaica. The trade facilitation agreement will enter into force once 2/3 of the membership has formally accepted the agreement. So we are still some 36 or 37 countries away from the point of ratification, and hopefully that will come soon.
The trade facilitation agreement contains provisions for speeding up the movement, release and clearance of goods, including goods in transit.
In spite of the fact that the negotiations took more than 10 years, I think many countries will experience that the implementation phase, you will certainly also have a number of challenges. And of course, for the future, for implementation of some of the measures that have not yet been implemented, maybe there is a need also to engage, for instance, the Caribbean Development Bank.
And Dominicans continue to benefit from the country's long-standing relationship with Cuba.
The Cuban embassy presented a consignment of energy-saving bulbs to the Focole Improvement Committee on Friday. Portsmouth and Collioure are among communities which have benefited from the energy-saving light bulbs project.
It's an honor for me to come here and to say we are here. Tell me in what way we can help, and we will do it. So the political will of the Cuban government and the Cuban people is continuing helping Dominica. For me, so I always say that I like to see the faith of the people that we are helping. That's why I asked to my friend Thompson and Larry to come here to say, okay, me is Cuba. You see Nolan, the ambassador. You see Cuba with me. So this is the way that we have to help. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Dominica and Cuba are celebrating 20 years of diplomatic relations this year. Prior to the establishment of formal relations, Dominicans were able to access Cuban training in medicine, architecture, and engineering.
There's no doubt that Cuba is a long-standing, genuine friend to Dominica. It was about 20 years ago, either in 1996 or 1997, that the Edison James administration established ties with Cuba. Since that time, we have been getting, I think Cuba is a country that have been helping us in terms of our education. Every year, between 3 to 5 scholarships is granted. And under the term of the United Workers' Party, as much as 20 scholarships were granted to Dominica.
In other news now, J. Stefan & Company has unveiled a new marketing concept which executives believe will promote the growth and stabilization of the local economy.
The company has partnered with local media personalities known as brand ambassadors to produce and host the A-Team TV and radio show. They are J.L. Joseph, Felix Henderson, Major Mystic, and Miguel Labadie. That show will highlight individuals and small businesses who are aspiring as well as those who have achieved in their respective fields. One company executive says the goal is to encourage people to aspire to inspire.
The A-Team show will cover a variety of topics, appealing to all ages. The subject matter will include fashion, business tips, parenting, humor, healthy lifestyles, and the list goes on. Our mission statement, to improve the quality of life of every Dominican by enabling them to afford the things that can raise their standard of living, is the driving force behind J. Stefan & Company.
The A-Team show is expected to help provide information and support for consumers and to encourage the development of a holistic society.
We grow well together. Over the years, Astefans has grown with Dominica. We have seen our customer base evolve. We have seen many a past employee soar to higher heights. We have supported many small businesses and seen them grow to sustainable entities. We have seen our communities and economy develop, and we are happy and proud to be an essential part of that growth.
The A-Team show is scheduled to play on all TV and radio stations. Airing dates will be announced later.
And that's news. Coming up, the new Big Edge Gifford Toussaint National Softball Tournament and the Digicel Augustus Gregor Cricket League all happening this weekend. Your sports highlights with Kenny Williams next.
Hello everyone, and here are your sports highlights. Cricket takes the first knock. President of the Dominica Softball Cricket Development Association, Heston Charles, says he hopes the Windies' recent success will positively influence cricket in Dominica. His comments come ahead of the Big Edge Gifford Toussaint National Softball Tournament carried for Linda Park on Sunday.
It has proven to be a very exciting league. On the back of the recently held World Cup T2020 when West Indies won, since then we have seen a high interest and high enthusiasm for 2020 cricket, and softball is played in that format. It's 2020 cricket, and Lindo Park has been the maker of softball, and this is why we have designated Lindo Park to commence the softball league.
Charles says this year's competition should see some entertaining matches and possibly some surprises.
We have seen the sports division dominating that league for the last 3 years, and as organizer of the league, it would be good to have some kind of competition for the sports division team. Like Australia, they dominated in the women's tournament. And we saw how the West Indies women came and dethroned them. And I'm thinking probably the same thing should happen in the softball tournament, where some team should come and dethrone the sports division team. I think it will create a level of confidence for other teams participating, that no team is invincible. Any team can be beaten on any day.
The tournament starts at 10:30 a.m. On to football now. The Dublin and Bathurst State football clubs registered a 7-1 victory in their respective matches as action continued in the DFA All-Ireland League Thursday. Gerald George has this report.
Rachel's Point Michelle Football Club edged out South City All-Stars 2-1 at the Pori playing field. Daniel Dupini and Dante Kazimi scored for Point Michelle, with Chauvin Bellot scoring for South City All-Stars. In a doubleheader at the Newton playing field, White River Ballers of Dalis defeated Wynn George Academy 4-3 in the first match. Joel Yuzeb found the back of the nets twice for White River Ballers, with Peter Laron and Sanjay Etienne scoring one. Wynn George Aqua Libla and Isaiah Lawrence scored for Wynn George Academy. In the second match, Bathurst State Football Club crushed Goodwill All-Stars 7-1. Delzel Lawrence scored 4 times for Bathurst State, with one each coming from Fabio Roberts, Conaldo Thomas, and Derrickson McDonald. Jarrell Barron got the lone goal for Goodwill All-Stars. And at the Benjamin Park, Dublin Football Club hammered Wood City Strikers 7-1. Rufus Pearley registered a hat-trick, with one each coming from Shekel St. Mary, Stephen Jules, Kriston St. Bernard, and Jesse Dura. Kiman Thomas got the lone goal for Wood City.
Meantime, football teams and clubs will benefit from a licensing workshop on the weekend.
The second club licensing workshop will take place on Saturday, 9th April from 11 a.m. at the River Cyric playing field for teams in the Southeast, to include Sajiko Southeast, Grand for Young Boys, RC Doctors, LA Stars, White River Ballers, and all the teams in Cassibrus and surrounding areas. The DFA expresses its disappointment in the poor showing of teams in the Roseau area and surroundings, and would like to reiterate the seriousness of the implementation of the club licensing for the new season.
On the basketball scene, there were wins for Canefield Tigers and Police Sports Club when the 2016 Flow DABA League continued Thursday night. In Game 1, Police Sports Club defeated Interschool 57-52. Top performance for Police, Marlon Hillier 21 points and Kerry Christmas 18. For Interschool, Edmund Williams Jr. had 29 points, Ethan Boland 13. In the second game, Canefield Tigers bested Justina Charles Thunderers 65-54. Tony Lee got 21 for Tigers, while Haywood Powell assisted with 13. Thunderers' top scorers were Lucian Samuel 11 and Garen Jules 9. Meantime, in matches scheduled for the weekend, on Saturday, Elvis Welding Services Hornets will do battle with Detroit Blazers from 7 p.m., while at 9, E.H. Charles Crossovers will take on Fashion Line Falcons. And on Sunday, Ronald Charles and Willie Barbershop All-Stars will go head-to-head with Interschool from 6. Signman X-Men and Fast Cash Prowlers will clash at 9. The weekend games are carded for the Lindo Park. Going back to cricket, the Digicel Augustus Gregoire Cricket League resumes on Sunday with 3 matches. Gladiators and Marino Evergreen Sports Club will meet up at Botanic Gardens, Marino Blasters Sports Club versus Gallio at Winter Park, and Sajiko Somerset and P.H. Williams Collier at Benjamin's Park. The games begin at 10 a.m. In netball, a third one in the bag as Dominica captured a win against Grenada in the 2016 Jean-Pierre League on Thursday. Selena Langley stole the spotlight, scoring 26 from 37 attempts, while Kayla Telemack supported with 6 from 9 tries. Final scores, Dominica 32, Grenada 21. Dominica's under-16 team now stand a better chance at finishing in the top 3. Still in netball, the Big Edge Financial Express League continues on Sunday with one scheduled match. Dominica's under-23 team will face off against Wesley at the Dominica Grammar School Hard Court. Starting time is 4:30 p.m. That's all the sports for now. I am Kenny Williams. Have an awesome weekend.
Coming up, we'll take a look at your weekend weather.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Coretta Joseph. We start off by taking a look at some earlier satellite imagery, and what it showed is generally partly cloudy to cloudy skies across the region. Visible satellite imagery showed mostly low-level clouds across the area. Radar imagery indicated some scattered showers across the islands. Conditions for tonight: fair to partly cloudy with a few brief scattered showers. Tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy with some scattered showers during the earlier part of the day, and as the day progresses, an improvement in conditions is expected. Sea conditions: moderate in open water with waves up to 8 feet. Taking a look at our extended forecast, on Sunday, mostly cloudy skies with scattered showers can be expected. On Monday, partly cloudy to cloudy with scattered showers. The Atlantic high pressure system will maintain its dominance across the region tomorrow. This will result in partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers during the earlier part of the day. And on the international scene, some rain expected in New York and London, clear skies in Miami and Beijing, and partly cloudy conditions in Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:54 a.m. and set at 6:19 p.m. For updated information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines again: a disturbing revelation that young people belonging to minority groups may not be receiving the same level of support from social services as their counterparts. Dominica to benefit from a $15 million Japanese-funded climate change project, while solid waste and the private sector host a No Plastic Day. And displaced Dubique residents expected to move into their new settlement at Center in Grand Bay shortly. Feel free to contact us at news@mapping2k4.com. You can also have access to our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thanks for watching. To all our viewers around the world, do have a great weekend.